Hello knitters. If you're like me, my preferred way of knitting is continental knitting. However, when you're working on a larger project that has 100 and some stitches in rows and it's time to purl, that is my least favorite part of the project. So that brings us to the tip of the day. I'm going to show you a variation of Portuguese knitting that will show you a different way to purl. It also actually causes me less stress on my hands. So if this is something that also challenges you, maybe this is something that you will want to consider. So here I have my ball of working yarn, nicely caked, and of course my project. I'm actually preparing to purl. I will be knitting the first 4 stitches and I'll be doing those continental because I'm fastest at that way. But the purl stitches will be done in a variation of Portuguese knitting. So when you take your yarn for Portuguese knitting, you're going to pass your ball of yarn over your left shoulder and down to the right. Now, I like tensioning around my neck. That's my favorite way of tensioning. It offers the perfect amount of tension. However, I can understand why one might not like to. In the summer, I don't do Portuguese knitting around my neck because, ew. But it offers a fantastic amount of tension to have it around your neck. See how tensioned the yarn is for me? That's the perfect amount to have constantly tensioned. And because you're not tensioning with your hands, it's not causing extra strain. There are some other methods, however, that you can use for tensioning your yarn just by using a clip. On your shirt to tension. You put the working yarn through the binder clip and then onto your shirt, maybe. So the binder clip goes on the yarn and then onto your shirt. Or we're going to use our clover clip or any brand. Pinch it over the yarn, clip it to the shirt. There are other things. You can buy pins. I just don't like to put holes in my clothes. Or you can buy a knitting necklace as well. That's an option. I don't know that I would like the tugging, but if you can handle that and if that's what you prefer, please do that. So when you're not tensioning around your head or around your neck, and you're just tensioning using the pin, you are going to need to also tension with your hand with this yarn. So you're going to bring your pinky over the yarn. Place your pinky and then give a twist. And then bring it to where your index finger goes underneath. And then you'll be able to reach your knitting. Let's get into the actual knitting, and I'm only demonstrating the purl stitch today. Okay, and here we are for the knitting portion. Again, I want to remind you of how to tension the yarn. I have my yarn currently running behind my neck. It's going to first go over your left shoulder, around the back of your neck, and back to your right shoulder to your knitting. Now, to tension your yarn, you're going to put your pinky over the top of the yarn and twist so that the yarn is just looped once. Your palm is facing up. Turn your palm so it's facing down, and then put your index finger under the yarn. Okay, so for purling, got to make sure that you keep this nice tension. We're going to insert your yarn as if to purl, and then you just give a flick of the thumb. Insert your yarn to purl and flick of the thumb. And this is incredibly easy. It gets nice and fast. And sometimes I help with my index finger. I think that's in part because I'm a continental knitter and old habits die hard. I don't use a lot of Portuguese knitting, but it sure is a great tool to have in my skill box for knitting. I hope you've enjoyed today's tip. Happy knitting!